Good evening, everyone. Well, the feeling this season has been that Chelsea are in a bad place, and that in the context of the last 2 decades, I suppose that is a completely understandable view. But the last time Everton did the double over Chelsea, they finished bottom of Division 1. Chelsea were bankrupt. They were struggling to finish the stand that we're sitting in. Chelsea fans have been on a roller coaster ride of extreme highs, huge dips and moderate bumps since then. And for anyone with a long-standing interest in the Blues, this season is only bad by the modern view. After all, they could finish the weekend 3 points off Manchester United and Newcastle with a game in hand and with a significantly better goal difference than Erik ten Hag's team, and it could be worse. They could be Everton. Now they really are in the mire, financially, organisationally and administratively, and they start tonight just 2 points off the relegation zone with their game in hand, the Merseyside derby. Sean Dyche has been playing poker at the casino's big money table all season with a dud hand, but come up trumps tonight and Everton will be within touching distance of survival. Not that that will be the end of their problems, but a significant step forward for the grand old club. Danny Murphy, Chelsea dropped points at Sheffield United last weekend. How do Everton make them do the same here tonight?
Well, I think the first thing you've got to do is stay in the game and quieten the crowd down. We've been here enough times this season to know that the crowd can turn quite quickly if you frustrate Chelsea, and the anxiety then creeps into the players. But of course, you can't ever need to, at some stage in the game, try and impose themselves the other way. But Sean Dyche will know very well that the last thing Everton need with where they're at and the way they've been playing is to concede an early goal. So I expect them to be pragmatic, hard to break down, hard to beat, and Chelsea to dominate possession. And it's just whether this Chelsea side can get in front, because when they get in front, they tend to do okay.
Chelsea start with Petrovic in goal, Gusto, Silva, Chalobah and Cucurella at the back four, Caicedo and Gallagher in midfield. Madueke plays on the right, Mudryk on the left, Palmer behind, Jackson in attack. Everton, Pickford in goal, Coleman, Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Mikolenko. Garner and Onana at the heart of midfield, with McNeil and Young on the flanks and Doucouré behind Beto in attack. Everton have turned Chelsea around in the first half, so Chelsea will shoot from left to right, blue shirts, blue shorts, white socks, and Everton in...
Good decision that, by the way.
What is a salmony sort of pinky thing with fuzzy dark blue stripes, attacking the goal away to our left. Why is it a good decision?
Well, I just think anything to upset rhythm. When I was captain of Fulham and we go any of the big teams, if I won the toss, I'd always turn them round. It just takes... It might not work. Just most players have a routine at home games where they expect to shoot a certain way first off. I remember being a player at Liverpool, and if you shoot into the cop first off, it always felt a bit weird.
We're underway after all the players take the knee to pay tribute to the No Room for Racism campaign, and Cole Palmer immediately gets into his rhythm and sticks the ball through the legs of an Everton midfield player, goes out the other side and tries to set them away on an attack. He couldn't find Mudryk, and it's cleared away. And then there was a foul on a Chelsea player on the far side. Ashley Young has gone wiring in, and the referee is Paul Tierney tonight, immediately gives the free kick for the foul on Conor Gallagher, about 12 yards outside the penalty area, wide on the left. It's a good start by Chelsea.
Brilliant bit of skill, wasn't it? Although I think Tarkowski's probably the last man on the pitch I'd want to nutmeg, because he might come for me after.
Free kick over on the far side, and Cole Palmer inevitably standing over it once again. So is Conor Gallagher, and there is a line of Everton bright fluorescent salmon pink shirts right on the edge of the 18-yard box, floated in by Palmer round the back of the defence. Chalobah can't reach it. He was the closest to it coming round the back, but it just scooted off the turf and goes behind and away for a goal kick away to our right. It's another week of box office football on TalkSport. Tomorrow night, Barcelona PSG. The second leg is on TalkSport 2, whilst Adrian takes you around the grounds. League 1, League 2, Championship football. Pompey possibly having a promotion party at Fratton Park tomorrow. Wednesday night, both Arsenal and Manchester City in action in the Champions League. We're at both games. Thursday night, it's Europa Conference League and Europa League comebacks, maybe, and the FA Cup semi-finals at the weekend, and the EFL Championship title race. Tonight, Chelsea with a 7-game unbeaten run to preserve, and Everton with a 73-year top-flight stay to preserve. In action on TalkSport. Ball up high by Pickford through the middle of the pitch. There's a foul by Chalobah, and it's given away as a free kick 7 or 8 yards inside the Chelsea half of the field for Everton to construct a set piece. Dwight McNeil will take it. Adrian's taken half the stand out on this near side. What's he doing there?
Put his wallet on the desk.
Ball sent towards the far post, headed down by Tarkowski, comes back to Beto. Beto tries to feed Tarkowski, couldn't get hold of it, and it's cleared away by the Chelsea defence. Set piece is going to be key for Everton tonight.
Absolutely, Sam. Big thing for Everton. Brilliant at them.
McNeil down the left side on the attack for Everton by the corner flag. A low ball which is cut out by Chalobah. Into the air, the wind catches it, doesn't get clear, it'll run loose, and Gallagher and Jackson will try to conspire to get it away, but it was a heavy touch by Jackson. It goes back to the halfway line. Tarkowski will mop up for Everton, and they have possession 3 minutes into the game. 0-0 the score. Ball down the right side, looking for Beto, then it's cleared away by Cucurella. Tarkowski with a header down the right, and it looks as if Cucurella was hitching a ride there, and then there was another late foul by Ashley Young on Conor Gallagher. Chelsea want to get things moving. Jackson tries to spin in behind a knocked Tarkowski. Maybe it's that nutmeg from Cole Palmer that's wound him up, but he's late on Jackson. It's going to be a free kick on halfway.
Jackson's first touch didn't quite go so well. It wasn't the easiest ball to bring in, but the groans and the moans straight away.
And Chelsea have got, with the new Goalfest programme in the Premier League, Everton at this moment in time stubbornly resisting it. If you measure your entertainment in goals and goals alone, the Toffees have been the most boring team to watch in the Premier League this season. Only 74 goals have been scored in their matches, which is 16 fewer than anyone else's games. This is Malagusto on the right side for Chelsea, trying to bring it over the halfway line. Has to chop back. Chelsea with another changed central defensive partnership tonight. Silva and Chalobah together. It's the 7th different partnership that Pochettino has been forced to use this season. Here is Madueke, right side off. The ball's won by Caicedo. He tickles down the right side, gets to the byline, tries to get the cross, and it's blocked by Mikolenko, and it goes behind and away for a corner kick in front of the Matthew Harding stand, away to our right. The first corner of the game for Chelsea.
Nice and positive that from Madueke. Too many times I've watched him this season where he comes back and he plays simple. That was direct, that was positive, that was confident. Really good.
It's going to be Palmer inevitably to take the corner kick on this near side, and he's got Mudryk just about 10 yards to his left, but he'll swing this in left-footed into a dangerous area. Tarkowski takes charge, a big powerful header to get it away for Everton to safety, and then Madueke back to his goalkeeper Petrovic out to the far side. Malagusto steps over the ball, looks up, plays it back again. It's a little bit short. Petrovic has to rush to clear it. He does that successfully. It's up towards Jackson, who vies with Tarkowski in the air. The ball is sent back towards Pickford now, and that's a short back pass, and Cole Palmer was there, but Pickford very quickly out and clears and smashes it out to the west stand, and then looks at his international teammate, gives him a bit of a smile. The two share a grimace, and Chelsea have possession on halfway.
Well, what was great about that passage of play was both teams really trying to press the other goalkeeper and not give them time. We've seen in recent weeks a lot of keepers seem to be making mistakes at this stage of the season.
Well, we saw that at the weekend, didn't we, up at Burnley. And the weekend results made good viewing, actually, for both these two teams. Everton saw Luton and Forest drop points. It's a three-way tussle to avoid relegation, I think. Here is Palmer, out to the right, Madueke, edge of the penalty area. Tries to go to the outside of the defender, who sticks with him, but he beats him, pulls it back. Inside the box it goes, past 3 Chelsea shirts, and out the other side, and eventually Ashley Young is there to clear it for Everton. But that was a good run by Madueke, who kept his feet well, got to the byline, and then sent a scything ball through the 18-yard box, which someone really should have got on the end of.
I thought he should have hit it. As soon as Palmer give it to him, take a touch and hit it, can go through the defender's legs, get a deflection. I know he did all right in the end and got to the byline, but I thought one touch, bang.
Everton certainly big favourites to finish above both Luton and Forest. They have Forest at the weekend, and they would love a cushion when they entertain them on Sunday. Ball bounces back into the right full-back position as Doucouré puts pressure on the Chelsea defence, and Petrovic is called upon to come out and clear it into the stand that we're sitting in. Chelsea are unlikely to get an easy ride tonight. Everton may not be the most potent attacking force, but they do have a top 4 level defence. 42 goals conceded from 31 is the kind of stability that keeps you in the top half rather than it's just there to keep you away from the relegation zone.
Well, the other thing as well is Chelsea give up goals, don't they? This back 4 isn't particularly solid and certainly not that experienced.
Coleman flicking the ball into the far post. Malagusto manages to head it away. Yeah, certainly not that experienced.
Well, that doesn't
together, apart from the grand old Duke of the Chelsea defence, Thiago Silva, who at the age of 39 years and 206 days is giving Danny and I a run for our money.
Fantastic longevity. What a player he's been.
Here is Gallagher in the centre of midfield, out to Cucurella, back to Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva, who started against Sheffield United after being out for a while with an injury and actually scored in that game, and then Malagusto under pressure from McNeil puts it straight out of play. It's out for a corner in front of the Everton fans away to our left hand side. That was sloppy.
Well, I'll tell you what's incredible. It's a very simple equation, football sometimes. You've got Mudryk and Madueke right and left wing, and you've got Coleman and Mikalenko right and left back. Now I fancy both Chelsea wingers to be quicker than Everton's fullbacks, and they've not played any percentage balls in behind. I mean, it really is basic sometimes. Cause your own problems by not thinking.
Pochettino not happy about something, the organisation, as the corner comes in from Garner in towards the near post, a flick by Jared Branthwaite. It sort of hit him on the side of the head and went over the bar and out for a goal kick away to our left hand side. We played 9 minutes on TalkSport. It's Chelsea 0, Everton 0, and we're live at Stamford Bridge on this Monday Night Football. And there's so much football to come over the next couple of weeks. I mean, this next week is absolutely ridiculous. We've got tomorrow night live football from the Champions League, Wednesday night live football from the Champions League, Europa League Thursday, Friday Championship, Saturday Championship and Premier League, and we've also got semi-final stuff. Malagusto's given the ball away again, and Onana's picked it up in the centre of the Chelsea half. Out wide it goes to the right, and a little dance by Young. He sends it round the back for Coleman, and then somehow Beto's missed flying in from 4 yards out. It might even have been closer than that. It was ripped in from the right side by Seamus Coleman, and Beto flew at the ball. He must have only been 3 yards out from goal, and somehow he spooned it over the top.
That's a poor ball from Coleman. He's absolutely mullered it, knee high. Doesn't need to. It's a great move from Everton, won the ball, but look, they're at it again, Chelsea. This is what I'm talking about, the naivety and stupidity. How ridiculous.
It creates a nervousness that they've given the ball away so cheaply when playing out. Doucouré looks like he's in an offside position. He challenges for the ball anyway, the flag goes up. He has given away a free kick for doing just that, and it's with Chelsea on the edge of their own penalty area. But that was a golden chance for Everton to take the lead, and that is a prime example of what's happened to them all season, Danny. They create a golden chance like that and miss it.
Well, I mean, yeah, you could argue Beto still should probably score because he gets something on it, but the quality of Coleman's pass when he gets in there, there's no thinking of the way to play. He's absolutely mullered it a foot high or too far high off the ground.
Madueke going for one of those percentage balls, which was played down the right side by Cole Palmer. He did outpace the fullback Mikalenko, but he couldn't outpace Jared Branthwaite, who covered the ground very quickly to sweep up for Everton. Chelsea have won it back on halfway. It comes fortuitously to Jackson, who comes infield past Onana. He's got space in front of him. He runs into it, gets to the edge of the D, cuts back in again. He should have shifted it on. Instead, he was selfish and kept hold of it, and he had it pinched off his toes, and now Everton have turned it over, and they're gallivanting up the other end of the pitch with Doucouré. He moves up to the left angle of the penalty area. Ball in by McNeil is a little bit too high, and it goes through the box and out the other side. It's a Chelsea throw. 0-0.
Good start from Everton, pressing nice and high. Didn't see this coming, but Chelsea are playing into their hands. They give the ball away once, then they play out again, even though Everton camped in their half. Third time. I mean, where's the decision making from players? Where's the ability to understand the context of the game and where you're at? Put it in your hands, kick one in behind and get up the pitch. You just give it away twice.
You're listening to Chelsea 0, Everton 0 on TalkSport with Now. And don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Chelsea versus Everton live right now. Contract free with a Now membership. Search Now Sports. Well, Pochettino did say in that press conference yesterday they need balls to win the ball. He knew that they were expecting a battle tonight. He said, we've got enough talent, but do we have the physical and mental strength and the nous to overcome teams like Everton that stand up to us? They played out well from the back. It might have been dicey, but they got away with it. Now Malagusto is cavalieering forward down the right. He cuts in, gives it to Palmer, puts it through the legs of Branthwaite, escapes the other side. A little flick to Jackson, back to Palmer. He's shooting. What a goal! It's fantastic. It's Cole Palmer. Take a bow, kiddo. 20 goals for the season, and there won't be much better than that. The first man in Chelsea blue to get 20 goals since Eden Hazard. And I tell you what, Everton's Hazard lights are flashing now. That's a corker. Chelsea 1, Everton 0.
Absolutely exquisite. Lovely little flick round Branthwaite. Then another flick round the corner for a 1-2 with Jackson. And the finish is just sublime. But we expect the finish. It's the bit before. Just the confidence, the awareness, little nutmeg. He's nutmegged both centre-halves in the first 10 minutes. Then the little flick round the corner and the awareness of where Jackson is. Here now, little touch, gets it back on the edge of the box. Can he produce? Bottom corner, side foot, calm, cool, collected. This lad is some player. What a joy to watch him.
And it was a brilliant team goal, really, when you think about it, Danny. And I know you were a little bit nervous when they started playing out from the back, but that is a goal that started at the base and went all the way through the Everton formation. Ended up with Cole Palmer nutmegging Jared Branthwaite, playing a 1-2 with Jackson and popping it into the bottom corner beyond the despairing dive of Jordan Pickford for goal number 20 of the season. 20 goals, 13 assists.
That could be up there for one of the goals of the season, because there's three brilliant bits to it. You don't normally get three brilliant bits to a goal. The nutmeg, then the amazing little bit of skill for the pass for the 1-2, and then the composure to put the ball in there. It's absolutely unbelievable what he's doing in his first proper full season. I know he's been educated Man City and been around these wonderful players, so his confidence was never going to be sure. But you've still got to get on the pitch in front of an expectant crowd that's been actually quite hostile at times here, and to play the way he is. I mean, just watching it again, we're lucky to see it, obviously, on the that little pass there into Jackson does well as well. And this is him playing as a 10 tonight, his favourite role.
He's had a good season. Here's Madueke, that's an understatement, taking the ball down on the halfway line. He's running now directly from right to left on to Mudryk, left side, back to Madueke inside the area, through to Palmer again. Somehow it's just behind him, and it goes out on the near side. Gusto keeps it alive, pulls it back to Mudryk, pulls the trigger through the box, goes over the top of the crossbar.
Great play.
Not sure how Chelsea didn't score there.
He pulled it behind Palmer. Palmer just got ahead of the ball, he pulled it behind him. Great little bit of interchange on the left hand side from Mudryk, and I think it was Mudryk and Jackson.
Well, Everton brought to an end the longest run without a win by any Premier League team this season last weekend when they beat Burnley. But they needed a helping hand to get their goal in that match. Aaron Muric, who made a mistake this weekend, kicked the ball against Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and that was the difference. It was only the Toffee's 7th Premier League win under Sean Dyche, and goals do come at a premium with Everton, and the fact that they're 1-0 down in the game will concern Sean Dyche, I think.
Yeah, it was Madueke with the cross, wasn't it, actually, who pulled it behind Cole Palmer. Drifted over from that right hand side to the left hand side.
And Chelsea have only lost once this season when scoring first in the Premier League, and that was here against Wolverhampton Wanderers in February. And it's worth pointing out that in that game, after going ahead, they conceded almost immediately, and Wolves levelled things up and then took control of the game. But Chelsea seem to be taking control of this one. They're coming forward with Caicedo into Mudryk inside the area, trying to take on Branthwaite, showed too much of it to Branthwaite, but the referee spotted an infringement before Mudryk was released and decided to pull it back after he saw the advantage not materialise for Chelsea. So a free kick has been given.
A little pull on Caicedo, wasn't it? It's good refereeing, exactly what you should be doing. Confidence is up for Chelsea. Everton need to hang in here because they're getting ran ragged a little bit with the pace Jackson's linking up the play really nicely.
Conor Gallagher calling the shots over the ball at this moment in time. 12 yards outside the area, a shade left of centre. Chelsea preparing another set piece. They've got Palmer to his right as well. Caicedo outside the box, 4 inside the area. Gallagher is going to leave this for Palmer, who sends it to Caicedo. Caicedo back to Gallagher. Seemed a bit of a waste to take that short. Mudryk's got it far side. Not really sure what he's going to do with it. Gives it to Palmer. He's usually a little bit more certain. Cuts infield, plays it back to Caicedo. It's very much tight on that far side, the Everton right-hand side. It's going to bounce kindly for Chelsea here, though, and Gallagher is going to escape down the left-hand side, just about keep it in by the corner play. Does that, runs up to Coleman, gives it back to Cucurella left side. There's 2 waiting in the centre of the penalty area, but Chelsea can't get out that far side. Now Caicedo pushes it into the path of Mudryk, runs into the 6-yard box. Jackson's there, save, comes back to Palmer, off the goalkeeper, he nods it in. It's 2-0 Chelsea. It's a fantastic start by the Blues. It's a wonderful start for Cole Palmer, and again they just took their time probing down that left-hand side, got to the byline, pulled the ball back. The initial strike from Jackson was saved by Jordan Pickford, and there was Cole Palmer to snaffle up another chance, and Chelsea lead 2-0, and Everton are in big trouble now.
Huge trouble. Great from Caicedo. Really sharp he started. He got by his man and then he picked out the right pass. Mudryk, he couldn't stay with him. Can Mudryk, when he gets in the final third, pick the pass? Can he calm himself down? We've seen him not do that often enough this season. This time he picks out who had the shot?
Jackson.
Picks out Jackson. And there's Palmer to get the rebound off Pickford, anticipating ahead of the Everton defenders. Good play from Mudryk. Jackson keeps it down. Pickford does his best, and that man is there again. Could be another hat-trick.
A startling campaign from Cole Palmer.
Told you, number 10 for England.
It's a bit of a cue, though, isn't it, to play that
play
role?
him and Bellingham and Rice. Let's be done with it. Come on.
Here is Caicedo clearing upfield. Jackson will get there. Lovely touch to take it away from Garner. He turns and runs down the right side. Tries to take on Branthwaite and nudges it away from him. A nutmeg on Doucouré by Caicedo. Elevates the ball to the far side. Palmer trying to keep it in. Can't do so this time because Caicedo's ball was a little bit too saucy.
3 nutmegs in 90 minutes.
Yeah. It's been a
for a long
bit
time.
of a showboating start from Chelsea, isn't it? It's sort of the kind of football that they used to play back in the 70s, where they were the swaggering princes of the King's Road.
It's what I'd expect if I watched you and Crookie play 5-a-side or something.
Well, that is available on the TalkSport YouTube site. Yeah, of course, we played in the TalkSport Trophy. He was on one side, I was on the other. I was in Gabby at Bonlahor's team. We won.
Crookie play out or in goal?
He played out. Well, he sort of played out. He was there.
He was on the pitch,
yeah. There was a lovely goal scored. Bonlahor set up this brilliant swivel and hit, left-footed top corner strike. I can't remember who it was who scored it. Maybe just check it out.
I might have to, yeah.
Silver out to the far side. Finds Cucurella, who clips it down the touchline. It's won eventually by Tarkowski. And Chelsea lead by 2-0 here on TalkSport tonight, and it's a bit of a problem for Everton this, because they would have come here with a game plan to try and keep things tight. That's what they do very well. They don't score goals very often, but 2-0 down away at Chelsea is going to be a difficult thing to rectify for them. McNeil down the left-hand side, trying to take on Madueke. It's collected by Onana and then tight to the touchline near side. Mykolenko looks to whip it in. It's blocked by Malagusto. I think if you asked any of the Chelsea fans what they felt about their signings, he would be up there as one of the big positives, Malagusto.
He's done really well, considering he probably wouldn't have played that much if Reece James was fit. Don't think he's quite got Reece James's quality, but he's certainly quick and loves getting forward. He's done really well.
Well, they have a set piece to defend here, Chelsea, because Everton have forced them into a corner. And James Garner will take it in front of the Everton fans that have travelled down from the northwest tonight. Paul Tierney's not happy about the physical engagement inside the penalty area. Gusto is marking Branthwaite, which looks a little bit of a mismatch. Madueke looking after Beto. Onana is on the goalkeeper.
You know what's crazy, Sam, is that, you know, that 0-0, the poor ball from Coleman, he can't quite get there. Beto puts it over, and a minute or two later, that wonderful goal, and the whole atmosphere changes in the stadium from what it could have been.
Here is the corner in towards the far post, flapped out by Petrovic, who actually missed it. Gallagher got there and got it away. Came back to Coleman, right side of the area. And then Nikolenko takes over now, slips it down the right side. Coleman's not going to get there. Cucurella is going to see it out. It's a goal kick to Chelsea away to our left-hand side. That was a dangerous set piece because Petrovic didn't get anywhere near it.
Yeah, it was. They do look dangerous on set plays. The problem is, every time Chelsea get in the final third, they look like they're going to score. Pace, movement. Jackson started electric. Palmer bang on it as usual. Look at the width, the two wide men again. We can see it brilliantly up here. Stretching that Everton back four. Mudryk on the touchline. Madueke chalk on his boots. Good old traditional width. Spread the game out. Give your players space to play. And
certainly they've played.
Yeah.
That first goal was an example of that, and it'll be one that we look back on, I think, at the end of the season. And as Danny said, it may well end up being one of the goal of the season contenders.
Well, he's a game changer. You know, like it's I was told that phrase when I was a kid. You know, you've got to be a game changer, and that's what he can do. Moments, it's magical moments, killer passes, great bits of skill, finishes, assists. He's one of those magical footballer who can just impact football matches over and over again with his quality and his self-belief.
Gusto into Gallagher, back to Chalobah, and then across to Thiago Silva. And Everton just a little bit as if they're chasing shadows once again, and Ghana has completely lost Cole Palmer, who's turned and swept the ball out towards the right hand side, and Gusto coming forward once again, links with Palmer, who lifts it over the top. Jackson trying to spin in behind, but Pickford is very quickly out. He's furious with his defence and his midfield. He wants to get them up the pitch, and goes to kick it, blocked by Malagusto, and he will hold on to it for another couple of seconds, the England goalkeeper. 24 gone on Talk Sports. Chelsea 2, Everton 0. Mudryk getting done by Coleman over on the far side, and then Ghana forced into giving it back to Pickford after pressure from Conor Gallagher. Very good at applying pressure, Conor Gallagher, and he's won it again on this right hand side. He's won a free kick. Referee could have played on there, he didn't. In fact, no player in the Premier League has won the ball back in the opponent's final third more times this season than Conor Gallagher.
He's brilliant at it. He's absolutely outstanding at it. Physically brilliant, runs all day, presses, sets the tone.
It's certainly what you need in a captain. He's durable as well. I mean, there's a couple of times this season where he hasn't been 100%, I know that, and he has turned out and put the captain's armband on.
I just got to say Palmer again, what he's done. So he's playing as a 10, and when the two central midfielders for Everton drop in to block the space, he comes this side and ends up as a central defensive midfielder, but gets on it, and twice in the last 5 minutes has dropped in, got free possession and then dictated play. The intelligence, it happens so naturally for him. He doesn't have to think about it. It's just so natural for him to find space on a football pitch and try and go and get on the ball. It's effortless.
And listen to Chelsea 2, Everton 0 on Talk Sport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has 450 branches, all the vehicles your business needs. Palmer chasing a long high ball into the Everton half, headed away by Jared Branthwaite, loose, and Caicedo picks it up. Jackson gets hold of it, runs, shoots from distance and crashes it goalwards. It was actually a little bit wider than many inside the stadium thought. Initially it looked as if it was arrowing towards the top corner, but you could tell by Pickford's body language it was going well wide. It did, and it's a goal kick away to our right hand side. It's been all Chelsea in terms of high quality chances since that Beto miss.
It's worth a go from Jackson, wasn't it? Started really brightly, Jackson. Looks full of confidence. Touch has been good, link-up's been good.
Well, it's a reaction from Chelsea after what was a poor performance away at Sheffield United, where they hardly created anything really. I mean, they were pretty dull. It was a below par performance, They knew they had to be much better tonight, and they certainly started that way. Everton have got 27 points on the board. The Opta supercomputer says that Everton only have a 6.1% chance of being relegated to the Championship, and they won't want to get hammered here. Here's Gusto down the right-hand side, moving towards the corner flag. Back it goes to Madueke, who runs along the 18-yard line. Little twist and turn, and try to poke it back to Malagusto. Not enough on it. McNeil was there, and now they break away and look to burst on the counter-attack. Everton come forward with Ashley Young, who chops inside past Gallagher, but he did enough, and then he was backed up by Caicedo, and Chelsea win it back again. Garner a little bit eager, and it was a little bit late on Cole Palmer. It's the first yellow card of the game for James Garner in the Everton midfield, and a free kick just short of the centre circle. 2-0. Yeah, I was just looking at all the data today, and it is absolutely fascinating, because usually you need 34.7 points on average to stay in the Premier League. This year, the boffins tell us that 30 will keep you up.
Yeah, well, they're probably banking on Luton not winning 2 games out of the last 6. The last 5 is a 6-6, yeah.
Under 34 points only ever been enough in 2 of the Premier League seasons to keep you in the league.
Yeah, it's a sad reflection, I'm afraid, of the clubs who are getting promoted and how big the gap is.
Here's McNeil. Wide on the Everton left, taking the ball out of the sky and funneling it back to the Ukrainian Mikolenko, who finds Branthwaite, tall and muscular, as he gives the ball to Pickford, and then Pickford's given it away, and then Palmer for the hat-trick, lifts it over him, and in, opportunist, but exquisite. The game changer, the match winner, without doubt, Chelsea's best acquisition of the billion-dollar spurge is Cole Palmer. Everton all at sea, Chelsea taking full advantage, given away by Pickford, who was standing outside his box, and he was made to play by Palmer, who lifted it back over his head and into the empty net. It's 3-0.
Exceptional, special player we are watching. It's a poor pass from Pickford, good press from Jackson in the first place to put him under pressure, and when he intercepts the pass, Palmer, a lot of players wouldn't want to take that on from that distance with their weak foot, but his confidence is so high, the self-belief I talked about on the half volley, loops it up, gets it perfect on his so-called weaker foot, drops a couple of foot under the bar, perfect. Well, what I did anticipate this score, but not with a hat-trick after half an hour.
Well, you said to me earlier on, I raised my eyebrows, you said, this could be 3 or 4 to Chelsea tonight.
I had a feeling, yeah.
And I was sceptical, I must admit. And I certainly didn't see this happening in 29 minutes. I mean, it's been a lightning start by Chelsea, effective start by Palmer, who is just on fire. Here is McNeil, poked back towards the near side, taken on by Malagusto. Chelsea win a free kick in the right full-back position. I mean, if you're an Everton fan now, this is chastening, isn't it?
Well, if you're an Everton fan, you've got to try and switch off to the drubbing you're getting and going to get, and just admire Cole Palmer, because the frustration ain't going to help now, because the game's done. Everton aren't coming back from this. I mean, they struggle to score goals anyway. To think they can score 3 away from home.
Here's Mikolenko down the left-hand side, tackled by Madueke, and then he's on the escape, and he's got support as well. Madueke fancies chances against Mikolenko, twisting and turning away from him. He should really have released Cole Palmer. But there was a foul probably 2 or 3 seconds before eventually he did end up on the ground, and the generous Paul Tierney has given him that free kick just short of the halfway line.
I mean, we know Foden's played so well this season that he's kind of played himself into a position where Gareth can't really leave him out. Cole Palmer's doing the same.
I mean, looking at the bottom of the table now, 32 played, 27 points. Nottingham Forest to play on Sunday. That's a huge game. And Luton Town still to play as well.
2 points.
And the gap is only 2 points to the bottom 3 for Everton.
Don't they have to go to Luton as well?
They have to go to Luton, yeah, and they get to play Nottingham Forest and Brentford at home. I mean, all of a sudden you'd start to be a little bit more nervous than maybe you were before kick-off. Like I said,
Absolutely.
the Opta supercomputer was saying 6.1% chance of them being relegated, but defend like this, I mean, Luton will score goals against them if they defend like this, right?
Absolutely. What ridiculous computer.
Never trust the computer.
Well, how'd you get 6%?
Listen, you know, it's all based on data, Danny. Come on.
I know, but it's nonsense.
Well, it's obviously not nonsense, is it? But
it is. I'm telling you.
Okay, yeah.
6%. Why not 7?
Because calculations have come up with 6.
But they're 2 points behind. To play each other.
It's a prediction model, Danny,
I know,
based on
but
previous data. They've obviously got a much better record than the two at the bottom of the table that they're competing with, because they've been deducted 8 points.
Yeah, that's true.
Their points per game is a lot higher.
Still a low percentage, though, isn't it?
Very low. The ball is back with Tarkowski away to our right-hand side. 33 minutes gone. One-sided contest. 3-0 to Chelsea. I wonder what would have happened if Everton had scored that goal from Beto, which was crafted by Coleman, maybe a little bit too eager with his ball, which Beto couldn't convert. Ball out towards his near touchline, and McNeil is scurrying towards the corner flag. And Gusto covered the ground really well to stop him from getting a free run at it. He turns, though, McNeil manages to get the cross in towards the near post, flicked into the air by Chalobah. Drops on the edge of the box to Kouré, and then Mudryk tries to bring it away. He does with ease, really. He sort of managed to scoot past both Onana and Coleman. Onana, I think, got something in the face as the Ukrainian went beyond him, and the referee's now stopped the game because of a head injury.
Yeah, he's caught him, I think. I didn't see that, but give Everton a little time to just compose themselves. I don't know what you say if you're Sean Dyche, really.
And then we're looking at a replay of the goal again, and it was a very poor pass actually out from Pickford. Even if you say it's a bad clearance and he's miscut it, actually just the way he hit it with the inside of his foot very flat, and it was just so easy for Palmer to receive it, and he's 36 metres from goal, and he elevates the ball high into the night sky, arcs it over his head and drops it in the back of the net.
The first goal's really unsettled Everton. I mean, I've seen them on away from home quite a few times be really resolute and hard to beat. You know, Man United, the first half did really well until they couldn't score, and then even Man City went there and put up a good fight and frustrated, but as soon as that first goal's gone, and they've been all over the place.
Well, they've collapsed out a pack of cards, haven't they? Here is Coleman over on the far side, and actually Chelsea have had one or two other chances which could have gone in, and it would have been an even greater scoreline. Here is Onana over on the far side, sending the ball into Ashley Young, who whips a good cross in towards Beto, whose header is brilliant. He's offside. It's into the corner beyond Petrovic. He goes to celebrate, and so do the Everton fans, but the flag very quickly was up on the far side, and they will wait to check this on VAR. Could be a big moment in the match, actually.
It didn't look offside.
Initially, that was not my thought.
No.
But as I glanced up and saw the linesman, who's very swift with his flag into the air, and is being looked at by VAR, and it's been very quickly checked and cleared. It's no goal. 3-0 to Chelsea. Offside flag has been upheld.
That was really quick. Must have been blatant. He shouldn't be. When the ball's that wide, you don't need to be ahead of your man when you can jump like that. It's a strange one.
Listen, I've seen Ashley Young whipping crosses like that for fun for years, but this season in particular, he's put in a couple of real peaches that they haven't made the most of. That was a really good cross from Ashley Young. Here is Madueke, again sort of tying Everton in knots down the right side with his close control. Palmer tight to the touchline, centralises the ball to Caicedo. A trip by Ashley Young on Gallagher. Yellow card, free kick to Chelsea.
I have to say, Caicedo started really sharply. I've not seen him this sharp in a Chelsea shirt since he's been here. What I mean, I don't just mean sharp without the ball, I mean with it, moving it quick, seeing where people are, bump, like 1 and 2 touch, moving it. And then without the ball, bang onto people, winning it back, getting in front of people, anticipating. Little bit of confidence and spring in his step.
There's a real fizz about him.
Yeah.
And no Enzo Fernandez tonight, by the way. Sterling was ill. I know that Robert Sanchez was ill. He's not in the squad today. I wonder whether or not that fate has befallen Enzo Fernandez as well. Ball cleared by Chalobah off the bottom of the boot of Beto. It's a Chelsea throw. Everything seems to be going their way at this moment in time, and they have it deep inside their own territory. 3-0 to Chelsea on a chilly night in southwest London. I think a lot of people thought, you turn up south West London, beautiful.
Well, it was sunny,
bright blue sky today. Lovely golden sunset I saw earlier on.
Although you have come in a vest.
It's going to be warm.
That string vest ain't going to keep you warm, is it?
A little hanky on the head just to keep the sun off. What was wrong with that? You turned up fully kitted out as if you're going for an Arctic hike.
Yeah.
And you're much more comfortable than I am. Gusto on the near touchline. He's going to take the throw in for Chelsea, who lead. Pochettino a little bit less animated down on the touchline than he has been recently. And Sean Dyche is not happy. He's trying to get a bit of energy into his team. Very difficult for him at half-time, isn't it, really, to sort of try and inject a bit of enthusiasm into this team.
Oh, I'd make 3 subs.
Jackson and Caicedo bundle their way forward. Caicedo from distance, shooting and missing the target by some distance as well. His confidence is up, his blood is up, and he had a shot which you thought was going to trouble Pickford. He hasn't scored for Chelsea.
That's not his game, is it?
He hasn't scored since September 2022.
It's not his game, that. He'd done the hard work and then just tried to set himself, but there's no real conviction in that ability to strike the ball. I know they didn't buy him for goals and making goals, but he's started the game brilliantly.
Chelsea have 2. Here is Caicedo, who beats Branthwaite with ease, bursts into the box, goes down, wants a penalty, doesn't get a penalty, and is told to get to his feet by Paul Tierney, but he caused Jared Branthwaite all sorts of problems there.
Well, he did, and the confidence to do it. We've talked about Branthwaite and how well he's played. He skipped by him far too easily there, nice and confident from Jackson. Again, another one who looks really sharp.
Again, Balagusto blocks the attempted run down the left-hand side. The ball spirals into midfield, and Nana, who's coming back from injury, takes the ball wide, then has to turn back centrally again, looks up, produces a cross. He's missed that completely, goes straight out of play and out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. I mean, if you're Sean Dyche now, are you thinking to yourself, I'm going to have to concentrate on trying to get this team back and ready for Sunday's game against Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, you'd probably start thinking about what you want to do Sunday, and I would be making an example of 1 or 2 of them who started the game poorly and make some changes. And it could be any of them, really. But you've got to give the lads on the bench an incentive and say, look, the 3 of you, there you go, get yourselves on, second half, show me something, you'll be in at the weekend. Now, there's no time for giving players chances now. You can't start a game this poorly. I mean, the first goal was brilliant, but granted, but Branthwaite shouldn't be diving in, getting nutmegged there. He saw his partner get nutmegged 5 minutes earlier.
Coleman fouled by Mudryk, going to be a free kick. It's going to be a yellow card for Mudryk as well for clipping at the ankles of Seamus Coleman. Is that something that Jared Branthwaite has got to learn? He'll pick up over the course of playing in the first Premier League season, for example.
Yeah, of course.
There'll be days like this.
He doesn't have many, but that was naive. I mean, there's certain players, Cole Palmer can't beat you for pace, so you don't need to dive in on him, because if you dive in on him, his manipulation of the ball and his ability with his skill could hurt you. You just sit off him. He's not going to hurt you with his pace, but he dived in. As soon as he dived in, he was done. But he's not the only one. There's been a few of them not at it. We haven't seen Decore, have we?
No, not yet. And he's a major asset for them. 6 goals this season as the ball's drifted into the box from that free kick by McNeil towards Tarkowski. Goes through the 6-yard box, and again Beto can't convert it. And it goes past the left-hand upright and squirms out for a corner kick. It took a little fortunate deflection maybe of a Chelsea player as the way through, and that might just have delayed the ball coming across Beto's path, and then he had to readjust and couldn't poke it in. But it was there.
Well, Tarkowski was actually asking the ref for a penalty because his shirt was being pulled, but he got such a good contact when he got there, he's not going to get that. But they are a real threat on these corners.
4 minutes before half-time. Here's a corner right under the goalkeeper's crossbar, and it's pushed over the top by Petrovic and out for another one on the other side. Currently Chelsea 3, Everton 0. The latest odds are available for you at Ladbrokes. Chelsea 80-1 on to win the game. Everton 125-1 to win the game. The draw is 40-1. It's all thanks to Ladbrokes 18+. BeGambleAware.org. Here's the corner. Going to be delayed again because Paul Tierney wants to act as peacemaker. Branthwaite being pulled away from Petrovic and Malagusto, who's detailed to mark him, which again seems a bit of a mismatch really. And Ghana is going to swing this in. They're all bunched at the far post here, right inside the 6-yard area. It's very, very congested. Paul Tierney's not having any of it. He's just stopping it, saying no. I'm amazed how many goalkeepers struggle with the in-swingers. I was fortunate, played with some great keepers who were brilliant on corners. People like Schwarzer, Jersey Dudek, so many of them. Well, it's a particular problem for Tottenham at the moment. It's something they keep getting done by, and it's being targeted by others in the Premier League, and it looks like they're surrounding Petrovic with the same sort of intent here. It seems like so many of them don't want to catch a ball anymore. Well, I don't know if there's something going on with the VAR, but Paul Tierney was listening to his earpiece. He's now said continue, and we're going to have a corner kick taken by Ghana from the left-hand side. Right-footed again towards the back post. Tarkowski going for it, but Chalobah flicks it away with a strong header. Mudryk looks to escape. He's watched by Coleman. The ball goes out of play off the Irishman, and it's a Chelsea throw. With 2 minutes to go before the end of the first 45 here at Stamford Bridge tonight, and the Chelsea crowd are starting to get used to positive results here again. Their home form has been very good. They're actually on their longest run without defeat since Thomas Tuchel was in charge. But all their matches usually have been fraught with danger. They've scored 2 and conceded at least 2 in each of the last 7 games in all competitions. Their matches are seesawing encounters in keeping with the new Premier League style. Here's Beto inside the area, taking a touch to set the ball and then shoot down towards the goalkeeper's left, but he scuffs it. Yeah, he did. Easily caught by Petrovic. He done the hard work as well. It was a good move from Everton into Beto's feet, got a nice touch and just couldn't get any power on his weaker foot. Caicedo being pushed and pulled by McNeil, gives it to Jackson, who returns it back. Madueke near touchline. Jackson, Madueke, Caicedo, the ball into centre field now. On the centre circle is Conor Gallagher, the captain, sweeping it to the long shaggy hair of Cucurella. Into Mudryk. Palmer pops it back out to the left-hand side, and Cucurella will keep it in. He sends it into the box. And lovely turn, and hit by Jackson. Brings it down. Scores a terrific goal. It's a wonderful goal from Jackson. Balletic as he brought the ball down. Spun beautifully. Sent it into the near corner. And Everton, evaporating at the back again, are being battered by the Blues. It's Chelsea 4, Everton 0. It's not half time yet. Well, Cole Palmer's involved again with Cucurella down. That was a great little ball for Cucurella. Might be offside. They're going to have a look at that probably. When it comes across, you think Jackson has taken it with his back to goal off Madueke, who wanted to volley it. But as his back's to goal, he spins on the ball as he brings it in and then just volleys it in the bottom corner. It's going to be interesting to see if this is given, because that pass from Palmer to Cucurella, the Everton fans in the replay we're fortunate enough to see screaming for offside. Yeah. Well, they've gone back to the centre circle, which would suggest to me that they're pretty certain. Finish, that is. But that is a supreme finish. That is an elite finish in off the post, kissing the bottom of the post as it squirmed past Pickford. 5 minutes of added time. Goal given, 4-0. He deserves it, Jax. He's been outstanding in the first half. He really has. His link-up's been great. He's been sharp as attack. Really, really good. As good as I've seen him, in fact. I must say, Chelsea's performance in this first half is one of those performances where you think, where has this been? Yeah. And I know that there's a lot of young players, inconsistency, etc., etc. It's one of those cliches that's trotted out over and over again. But so many times this season they've created big chances, had big moments, not taken them, and found themselves then losing matches. Here they seem to have taken almost every chance that has come their way. There's been 1 or 2 that haven't quite made it. But 4-0 at half-time is pretty impressive. Well, and what's more impressive than that, it could have been more. Yeah, they've got a superstar in the team. He really is. I mean, I was thinking before we were watching him play, and the more I see him, we eulogise about what Pep's done to our game and how well he's done at Man City, but he's got this one wrong. 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 He's
Getting rid of this kid was a mistake. I don't care what anyone says.
Madueke on the near touchline, running up over the halfway line. Palmer in support down the right side, gets into the right wing position. He's got Madueke in front of him once again. Goes back towards the near side and finds Malagusto. Well, he has the chance to prove that to Pep on Saturday, doesn't he?
Well, whether he does or he doesn't, I'm just talking about, somebody who could play in Manchester City's team and take the roles of one of the big boys when De Bruyne or Bernardo Silva move. Well, I know he wants to play now and it's partly his decision, but you got to admire him for that. I love young players who want to play first team football, and he's enjoying himself. He's showing the world what a star he is, but there's no way this lad with the talent he's got should have been let go.
I mean, the good news for him is that, I know whether he does or he doesn't, you say that, but he will relish the chance of playing against Manchester City on Saturday, won't he, at Wembley?
Of course he will.
I was here actually for the 4-4 where he tried to get involved in the huddle with Manchester City to listen to what they were saying about a free kick. Yeah. He's got that cheekiness about him as well. And the first thing he said to me when I met him and to do an interview with him was, I used to listen to you when I was on my way to school when I was a kid.
I thought he was going to ask you,
cheers, mate.
Have you had your hair done?
Almost sort of suggesting that he was a lot younger than I was, which he really is. He's a lot younger than everyone.
Well, that would be a fair suggestion, wouldn't it?
Well, he's only 20, well, what is he, 20 years of age? He's done brilliantly. And the way he's settled into Chelsea has been nothing short of impressive, really. 19 goals and 9
Well, there's an argument that he's been the best signing of the season, most impactful signing.
At Chelsea, that's definitely true.
You've got players like McAllister, Declan Rice. There's quite a few who you could talk about, Van der Ven, but he's coming into that equation more and more. As the season goes on, he's had a huge impact on this Chelsea team.
Doucouré sweeps it wide towards the right-hand side. It's away by Cucurella. It bounces off him and then comes back to Ashley Young again, who's crossed into the penalty area. It's headed away by Chalobah. It's out over on the far side, and we've got 90 seconds of added time still to play. Chelsea lead by 4-0, and we haven't reached half-time yet here at Stamford Bridge, and Everton are banging the mire.
Could easily be 6 or 7 if Chelsea put the afterburners on second half.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because that doesn't usually happen, does it? Usually the second half after a first half like this is a little bit more sedate and limp, but you just wonder whether or not, because Chelsea haven't been able to entertain this crowd with the kind of as the corner comes into the far post headed wide by Onana, they haven't formed the relationship, the connection with the management staff yet and the players yet that maybe they need. Maybe Pochettino might feel actually this is a real opportunity to get a connection, to have a moment together. They had one the other Thursday night when they beat Manchester United 4-3.
I think winning Saturday would create that connection more than another few goals here second half, to be honest, because that may put them in a great position then. But I know what you mean. Just keep the foot on the gas, keep everybody entertained, show these Chelsea supporters what talent these young lads have. Some of them have taken a while to settle and will get better. They just obviously from week to week you can see they're lacking that bit of experience and know-how. It's what you get when you buy young players, and only young players.
And it was interesting when you guys were discussing pre-match what he said in the press conference, and one of the things he was saying was that he wanted more experience in the summer, Mauricio Pochettino. Well, it's looked pretty good tonight, hasn't it? Let's be completely clear. It's a supreme first half display by a supreme player in Cole Palmer, and a very good Chelsea display. They know a victory will have their fans, the owners as well, dreaming of European football. Everton know that a defeat will leave them fearing the worst. Right now, they're certainly fearing the worst. Chelsea have the advantage at the break, and it is a huge one. 4-0, a hat-trick from Palmer, his second home hat-trick in 2 games. 4-0. Couple of changes at half-time for Everton. Off goes Onana and Coleman. Patterson and Gomez comes on, and Danny Murphy was saying, look, let's be completely honest, it could be anyone out there that they decide to replace, but he had to make some changes, he had to offer a warning, and he's done that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been bringing Onana off. He's one of the few who's got the physical capabilities to put himself about and get after this Chelsea team a little bit, but
well, he's had an injury. Maybe he's protecting him because he's thinking Nottingham Forest on Monday, nothing we can do at 4-0. I mean, bearing in mind I don't think they've scored 4 goals in a game all season. To score 4 in one half would be particularly difficult for them. Go through the 11s for you as they stand. Chelsea leading by 4-0. Petrovic is their goalkeeper. Gusto right back. Thiago Silva, Chalobah and Cucurella make up the back 4.
Harrison's on as well.
Caicedo and Gallagher in midfield. Madueke, Palmer and Mudryk behind Jackson in attack. Pickford is the goalkeeper for Everton. They've got at right back now Patterson, Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Mikalenko in midfield. Doucouré, Gomez, McNeil, Young and Harrison, and up top it's Beto. Yeah, Harrison has also come on. He's replaced Garner at the break. So 3 changes for Everton at the start of the second half. They find themselves 4-0 down, and I wonder whether or not it's damage limitation now, Danny.
To a degree, yeah, definitely. And you want to just see your team react, and you want to see how much these players have got in terms of heart and who's up for the fight in the next few weeks. That's what you want to see, and that's the challenge you set them. You know, I've played in teams where the game's been done at half time, and generally the saying is win the second half, show me something.
Have you ever come back from a deficit like this in the second half?
No. 3-0, come back from 3-0 a couple of times, not 4.
Gomez has it inside his own half. It's eerily quiet inside Stamford Bridge at the start of the second half. There's a few empty seats in the Everton end now. Not all of the Chelsea ones are full after half time, after what was a devastating display. Here is Beto trying to get in behind Chalobah, goes to ground. It's gobbled up by Petrovic and it will be cleared away. Everton don't usually come here expecting to get a victory. They've only ever won here once in the Premier League. It was 30 years ago. No, 1994.
Well, they got a draw here, I think. Did Cahill score an overhead kick here once? Do you remember that?
Yeah. He's had. I think they had a little bit of skirmishes in the FA Cup as well. I think they might have won here once. Leighton Baines scored a penalty, I think, late on. But in terms of their league performances, only ever won here once, 1994. 30 years ago. You remember 1994,
94, so that would have been, oh God, what?
You were 16, were you? 17?
Yeah.
John Major was the Prime Minister. Nemesis had just opened at Alton Towers. You must have been on that.
Been on that, yeah. Plenty of times.
I haven't actually, and I like a thrill ride. Here is Tarkowski running into Mudryk. It goes out on the far side and out for a throw-in. And Chelsea have the ball opposite us. Actually, the 1994 was the first time that a British newspaper published an internet edition, The Telegraph.
Who scored? Have you got that?
I've got it somewhere. Do you need it now?
No, I was just wondering what team it was. Maybe like the Hinchcliffe left back, people like that.
Yeah, it would have been something like that, yeah.
Paul Rideout,
yeah.
He was an handful, good in the air.
That was the only goal in the game, 1-0. There you go, you didn't even need me to look it up. Here is Gomez on the edge of the Chelsea penalty area. It's given away by Mudryk and Gomez has got it back again. He's shot left-footed. It's blocked by Thiago Silva and it dribbles away and out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. It is Chelsea 4, Everton 0. 49 on the clock, and it's a corner for Everton. Actually, in the first half, they did cause some problems for corners, and Chelsea might look back at that first half and say there was a few warnings, actually.
Absolutely. Always there's danger on these set plays. And we're in the first half, like you said.
McNeil will take it. 2 hands in the air, left-footed. He drifts the ball to the far post. Branthwaite is underneath it and heads the ball toward the target. And there would have been a couple in that Everton end that thought that had snuck in. It hadn't. It just went wide of the right-hand upright.
It was a mismatch, wasn't it, Branthwaite?
Well, we pointed out that Malo Gusto has been marking it all night. And again, it was those two coming together, and Branthwaite was always going to win.
It was a chance. It was a good chance.
They've had a couple, actually, haven't they? Beto obviously had a couple of big chances. The offside goal that he scored, and that one from Branthwaite. On a different day, it might have been different. Chelsea's...
I'll tell you something, this game ends up 4-4.
What will you do?
Well, it's not what I'd do. I think Pochettino would need he'd need to stay tonight in the dressing room.
Here is Madueke down the right side, taking a touch to go beyond Branthwaite, but across comes Andre Gomez to block it off. Andre Gomez picks it up again and then starts to move forward at a bit of pace, plays it left down towards Beto. Beto then chips it to the right side onto the chest of Ashley Young, who takes it down well, twirls, sends the ball into the box, headed into the air by Gallagher. Gallagher will head it further away from the box for Chelsea, and then Doucouré will sweep up. Back out to Patterson, near touchline. He'll be hoping to go to the Euros with Scotland. Cucurella fighting with Young with the ball, and then it comes out to the near side. They win a throw-in. And Chelsea just a little bit lethargic in comparison to their first half display. We thought that might happen. Here is Patterson with a cross from the right side. It's too eager, and it goes right the way through the box. A heavy ball which runs outside the area and goes eventually out for a throw because Vikalenko miscontrolled it.
It's hard when you're 3 or 4 up at half time. You say all the right things, you go out with good intent, but to play at that same intensity when you know the game's done or you feel the game's done, it's difficult. It's where your experienced players, and they haven't got many, need to be on top of each other and really demanding of each other to keep the intensity.
Poor clearance from inside the box by Chalobah, and it's back with Everton once again. 52 on the clock, 4-0 to Chelsea. In behind Mudryk, the ball comes to Patterson. Cucurella does well, and then, Tarkowski's going to get a yellow card for a nasty little challenge on Jackson, who spun the ball round him and went to chase onto it, and Tarkowski was having absolutely none of that.
Didn't need to, because he never got to it, Jackson. Silly yellow. He's got a bit of a dead leg there, maybe.
Oh, that's going to hurt. He's gone down, he's feeling it, and he'll be feeling that for a couple of days afterwards, I think. He's not happy. I'm trying to work out whether he's got something sewn into his hair or he's dyed a bit of the back of his hair a different colour. Jackson, either way.
Or he could have fell on the line and got a bit of white on it.
Well, that wouldn't really have explained why it's been like that since kick-off.
I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, the lad.
Well, he obviously likes it. It's Madueke down the right-hand side, moving towards the right angle of the penalty area. Madueke gets into the box, leaves it for Malagusto, goes on the outside, puts the cross into the area. It's headed away by Tarkowski, and then it's won over on the far side by Gusto again. Gusto turns it back to Caicedo, and then all the way back to Chalobah. Chelsea now trying to keep the ball on the halfway line. Their hopes of finishing in the European spots have crept up following their 7, soon to be 8 unbeaten run in the Premier League. They have a huge FA Cup semi-final at the weekend against Manchester City, and the following midweek they've got a big game at Arsenal next Tuesday, live and exclusive and only on Talk Sport. We can't wait for that. Could be a very different complexion to the season by the time we get to the end of that night. It may well have all have faltered as well by the time we get there as well, because Chelsea's inconsistency has been the feature of their season. Here's Mudryk, who's charging through the middle. He's released Palmer for another, stopped by the feet of Pickford this time. He's frustrated by that. It was a brilliant run by Mudryk, who picked the ball up on the halfway line, slanted his way infield, fed the ball down the inside left channel for Palmer, who pulled the trigger. It was saved by Pickford, but Branthwaite's got an issue here. He's gone down, and he might well need some treatment.
Joe, it was poor defending, because a couple of times on that run, Mudryk actually, his touch was too heavy. Because Everton was so scared of his pace and backing off, he got away with it. Then he played the right pass, and the only surprise in that whole move was Palmer missed. Just managed to get a right boot to it, Pickford, as he dropped to go the other way. He lifts it a little bit, it's 5.
Well, Branthwaite is on the floor receiving treatment from the Everton physio, and Sean Dyche is getting information from Steve Stone and Ian Woner, who's alongside him in the technical area. Pochettino's come out to have a word with Thiago Silva. Maybe he's just asking them to up the tempo again here as we approach the hour mark. There's a significant delay here as Branthwaite gets treatment, and Andre Gomez is suggesting that actually they just need to make a change.
Well, this is a blow, not necessarily for tonight, Sam, but the rest, they're definitely bringing him off. Look, Physio's rolling his hands to make the change. Huge blow for the next few weeks coming up. If that is a hamstring, it's going to be at least a couple of weeks, isn't it?
Yep. And it's, I suppose, the one thing you would say is if they're not 100% sure, tonight is not the night to take a gamble with it.
Well, no, he is sure. He's a tough lad. He's from Carlisle, for God's sake.
Everyone from Carlisle is rock hard, are they?
Yeah,
everyone.
Absolutely. Well, you can't live there unless you're rock hard, can you?
I've only ever been there for
-3 in the summer.
It's not that much more here now.
You've got a little thin jacket on, trying to look cool instead of thinking about the temperature.
I'll have you know, I've got a very nice gilet on that's keeping
just
me.
Just because you're out in Knightsbridge later giving it the big one. Hey, staying down in London.
Keane is on for Branthwaite. I've got to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm on the breakfast show with Ali McCoy's talking about this game, reflecting on it.
Yeah, do you know what? You are too professional. I don't see you getting in at 4 in the morning, being on the phone at 7. It's not you, is it?
Not really, mate. No. Getting in at 4 o'clock in the morning is not me.
Oh, not anymore.
No, it was a long time ago. The last time I was out 4 o'clock in the morning, I was probably in a Ukraine nightclub with Adrian Durham. 2012, I think. The ball is out of play on this near touchline, and it's away for a Chelsea throw. We're back underway now with Tarkowski given a new partner in Michael Keane, who's been an unused sub for each of the last 14 games. He hasn't seen too much action. And then he's had to come in at centre-half. And listen, if Branthwaite is injured for the weekend, that's a huge
I'm telling you,
loss.
he is. You don't come off with a hamstring midweek and then play at the weekend.
Here is Jackson over towards the halfway line. Cole Palmer trying to turn. Doucouré pinches it off him and takes it wide towards the right. Touched in by Gomez. It'll have a significant impact on the game against Nottingham Forest, that.
Yeah, it'd be a big miss. He's solid. First half was as much as I've seen him and Tarkowski been run ragged. I haven't seen them been run ragged like that for a while, if at all this season. I don't remember them taking a good beating this season. I know they've lost a lot of games, but
they have lost a lot of games. They don't usually get beat heavily. Their goal difference is pretty good over the course of the campaign. Their biggest defeat, they lost 3-0 at home to Manchester United, but even that wasn't really a 3-0 game. They lost 3-0 to Wolves as well. 3 really has been the magic number in terms of goals conceded. Their worst defeat of the season was 4-0 early in the campaign against Aston Villa. Here come Chelsea with gusto into Jackson, pushed away by Pickford onto his defender Patterson. It goes behind, and they were a little bit lucky not to go 5-0 behind.
Do you know what? That was a brilliant run from Gusto, but as it was building up, I was watching. Jackson made a brilliant run at full speed, and as he made it, Palmer just drifted back, knowing that Jackson was taking defenders into the box, and Gusto tried to find Jackson. It was a brilliant effort. I don't know if he actually got something on it or not, and it ricocheted off him, but ends up out for a corner.
Corner kick to be taken by Palmer on the far side, and Jackson went to run short towards the near post and then is checked back. Palmer sends it to Gallagher, edge of the area. Now Madueke, who's going to strike, and it took a deflection on the way through. It'll go out for another corner to Chelsea. Hitting the hour mark, 4-0. So if they did concede another one, it would be their biggest defeat of the season, Everton.
I'd start thinking if I was Poch. I know it's not necessarily what the fans want to see, but Palmer ready for Saturday, making sure he's fit. Give him half an hour rest tonight, maybe 20 minutes. Give him another 10. Gallagher even.
Corner into Jackson is a flat one towards the near post, and it wasn't the best of efforts, and Jackson couldn't hold on to it, and it goes out for a throw-in down by the corner flag. Quickly thrown in by Palmer into Mudryk, who smuggles it towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Across comes Mikolenko. It's out for another corner over on the far side. TalkSport live on a Monday night. Monday nights is game night. Game night brings you all the analysis from the weekend, plus the top commentary from
The Monday night Premier League action. Every time there's football on a Monday, we've got it here. Here's the corner from Palmer, another swirling delivery. Thiago Silva was up there, went and engaged with Tarkowski, who did enough to block the effort. Chelsea win it back. Gallagher, brilliant, onto Palmer, right side, inside the area, pokes it to Madueke. He's gone down inside the box here. Palmer wants a penalty kick, and it's given this time. Madueke knocked over by Tarkowski. If it wasn't for Palmer, it definitely was for him, and Chelsea have a penalty kick.
Well, I mean, that didn't look like a penalty from the second. The Palmer one did, but Madueke's trying to grab the ball.
I love the fact they're all arguing over the penalty and who's going to take it. Jackson went over and tried to grab it. Madueke fought him for it.
Why is Madueke trying to grab the ball when they've got one of the best penalty takers in the league?
And Palmer's gone to ground, and as a result of that, he's been left on the floor and couldn't get up, so he couldn't grab it. He would be taking it anyway. Madueke's been their second penalty taker, by the way, and has scored all of the ones that he has taken up until this point. And he has pulled rank and said, "That's mine, thank you." Cole Palmer still on the floor. VAR is checking the penalty decision.
Please take the ball, Palmer. Please take the ball.
But he's coming over to Paul Rank, and Conor Gallagher is trying to give up mitigating circumstances. Palmer says, "Give it to me." There's not going to be much argument. There is going to be an argument over it, and Conor Gallagher says, "Get away, it's mine," and he's given it to Cole Palmer.
Well done, Cole Palmer. Why is Madueke? Who does he think he is, that kid? Look, I get you want to take the penalty, but the man who takes the penalties is on the pitch. He's throwing his arms up in the air. That should be decided before they go out on the pitch, all that business.
Well, it is. And Conor Gallagher is having a go at Jackson, and Madueke is causing an issue. Gusto's now intervening. Caicedo's had to have a word with Jackson. They're all getting furious with one another.
Yeah, that just shows you where they're at as a group.
And that's immaturity, isn't it?
Yeah, Madueke's spitting his dummy out. He's been in the team 5 minutes.
Do you know what's really disappointing? And I don't mean to be disrespectful, but Thiago Silva really should have gone over and sorted that out.
Do you know what? If I was him, I probably wouldn't. Because you're fighting against the wind. It's ego. It's they don't want to listen.
Well, Jackson looks like he's crying. He's on his haunches on the edge of the D. Pickford's complaining that the ball's not on the spot. Portin is saying, well, it is, and that's enough. Pickford's come out to the edge of the 6-yard box. Chelsea waiting to take a penalty. He's taken more pressurised penalties than this, Cole Palmer, but he has decided that he is taking it. He's taken no for an answer, and this for his 4th goal. Steps up, left-footed. Did you ever doubt him?
No.
Cole Palmer gets 4. Chelsea score 5 against Everton. Now they celebrate.
Madueke and Jackson are still arguing about something.
It's a supreme performance, a devastating performance from Cole Palmer, who gets his 4th goal on the night. Chelsea get their 5th. 3 points are definitely going their way, and humiliation is going Everton's. And the only blot on the copybook is the ridiculous, immature infighting over who was going to take it, when really there shouldn't have been a debate.
Look, there's 2 sides to it, Sam. I love seeing players who want to take penalties. Great, because you've got someone with a bit of courage. I want to score. I like that. But you also got to understand your place. I would understand my place in the team and who takes pens and who doesn't. I wouldn't cause that on the pitch. I had it once. El Hadji tried to take one off me at Arsenal.
Cole Palmer has taken the penalty to become the Premier League's joint top scorer alongside Erling Haaland.
Yeah, but that's not the reason he should take the pen. The reason he should take the pen is because when he's on the pitch, he takes them and he scores them. So Madueke knows that. He's the regular main man in the team. Madueke's just got in the team. He wants to impress, I get it. But understand your place. The best player in your team is Cole Palmer. He's going to take the pen. He got the pen.
5-0.
I don't know why he's fighting with him and Jackson both wanted. Then they're fighting with each other.
I don't know. It seemed a little bit unnecessary, really, didn't it? But, you know, it added to the entertainment. And
we were away at Arsenal once, and we were 0-0, and we got a penalty, and it'd already been decided I was taking it. And El Hadji, Just watch this attack.
Here's Jack Harrison on the edge of the area as Everton try to get a penalty inside the box. McNeil thinks he was taken down. Jackson has rolled past Keane. Keane's going to get a yellow card for that. Another poor challenge by an Everton defender on Jackson, who's taken a little bit of a bruising here.
So Dufy grabs the ball. This is on telly as well, but won't give it to me. I mean, for a couple of minutes.
What did you do?
Well, Stevie came over, Steven Gerrard, and obviously started having a row with Dufy to give me the ball. I think Carragher came over as well. But it put pressure on me then when I had to take the pen.
Did you miss it?
No, I scored. Hell of a pen. I think Seaman was in goal, but nowhere near it. But didn't need it, do you know what I mean? But we already decided who was on the pens.
Yeah, it's a little bit amateurish, isn't it? It looks untidy. It doesn't happen very often in professional football that you have 3 players fighting over the ball. And it really was a bit of a scrap for it. And Conor Gallagher went over and said, no, come on, get away from him. Let Cole take it. And, he had to do a captain's job there. But Jackson and Madueke look a little bit silly as a result. Here is Beto down the right-hand side as the ball's given over by Chelsea inside their own half, and then Beto tries to smash it goalwards.
But you know what I don't understand is why, when they're arguing with each other, okay, the positive I've said that they both want to take it, but the reality is they both know Cole Palmer takes penalties. So surely you'd say, I don't know why we're arguing actually, because he's going to take it if he gets up.
And he did, and he scored it. And he is now level at the top of the goal-scoring chart with Erling Haaland after a devastating display. And he might go for 5, There's still quite a bit of time left in this. Here is Malagusto over on the right-hand side, trying to cut in from the right touchline, moving in towards the box. No one, by the way, has ever for Chelsea scored 2 Premier League hat-tricks in 2 successive home games. So he's the first to do that. The fact that he's got 4 tonight makes it even better. He's poking the ball towards Gusto. It's cut out.
Do you know the thing about Madueke I didn't like was that when Palmer was getting ready to take the penalty, he's still throwing his arms in the air. He's still throwing his arms in the air and whinging and moaning with Jackson and Jackson alike. Both while Palmer's trying to compose himself to take the penalty, and that's, you're not thinking about the team, you're thinking about yourself.
And that's something that they've got to get out of their system, really.
Well, if I was Poch, I'd make a point when I go in of digging them out for that. He's too nice, though.
Not necessarily sure that's 100% the case.
No, I was tongue-in-cheek. He comes across that way. I'm sure he's got... Well, I know he's got a different side to him. Of course, every manager has, you have to have it.
Thiago Silva's name rings around Stamford Bridge on this chilly night in West London. Chelsea leading by 5-0 with a good 22 minutes to go. And Sean Dyche scratching his head. Steve Stone providing words of advice. Pochettino standing with his legs astride on the edge of the technical area, watching his team produce their best display of the season. And I wonder what the ingredients are here, because, someone said to me at half-time, 9 months of bilge, and they all come together on one night. Lovely little trick by Madueke to release Caicedo through the centre. Palmer runs to the edge of the box. Every time he gets the ball, they think there's going to be a goal. He tries to poke it through to Malagusto. McNeil stops him, and then the clearance is a poor one, and Gallagher wins it back.
Madueke's either got cramp or he's something pulled or something.
And he's gone down. He wants the game to be stopped because he's on the floor. The referee isn't doing so, and McNeil is still tussling with Gallagher. It's out for a thrown over on the far side, and now there'll be treatment for Madueke. I think you might be right. It might be cramp.
Yeah. He's done well. He looked really sharp tonight, Madueke. That was a great bit of skill as well. He's been really direct, really positive. His end product's been decent. Just that bit of petulance with the penalty. A bit of selfishness.
On the record, as far as scoring a number of goals in a game is concerned in the Premier League, is 5. Andy Cole, Manchester United, one of those who have done it. 5 goals in a game. Jermaine Defoe, Berbatov, Aguero and Shearer. Can Cole Palmer join those ranks between now and the end of tonight's game?
Has there never been a 6? Never been a double? No, never.
Not in the Premier League.
The old double hat-trick.
Erling Haaland got 5 against Luton in the FA Cup earlier in the season, didn't he? I was at that game, and I'm sure that Cole Palmer has got his eyes on something. Andy Cole against Ipswich, Alan Shearer against Sheffield Wednesday, Defoe against Wigan, Berbatov against Blackburn, Aguero against Newcastle. That was the latest one, which was 15-16. And the referee just having a word with Dwight McNeil and James Tarkowski as Madueke is back to his feet now after his cramp issue. Just wonder whether or not he's just telling Tarkowski and McNeil just to calm things down a little bit. There's been a couple of frustrated challenges that have gone in. Going to be a change here. Chelsea going to take off Madueke, and they're going to bring on Carney Chukwuemeka. It'll be a little bit of a shift around. Gallagher, I think, maybe will go to the 10. Chukwuemeka go alongside Caicedo. Maybe it'll be Chukwuemeka who plays as the 10, but Palmer will definitely move out to the right as a result of this change. Madueke is getting a standing ovation from the Chelsea fans. I think anyone who comes off tonight will get that.
Yeah. Do you know what was notable then? He gave Jackson a high five on the way past, but Palmer and him did nothing. No, I'm serious. I watched it.
I'm sure they're all mates in the dressing room.
I'm sure, but you know those little things you notice.
Well, you've been in the dressing room, so you know how significant those things are.
Yeah, you do. You've got some mates on the pitch and some not so mates.
Really? Who would you not have given a high five to?
No, I'm not going there.
You brought it up. 18 minutes to go.
Cucurella. That was.
Sent down the left channel. Mudryk is chasing, but Tarkowski is there. Gives it back to Pickford. Every time he gets the ball, there's a anticipation he might give it back again, as Beto does really well to win a header. The ball is challenged for by Thiago Silva, and he does brilliantly to get hold of it. Spun in behind by Andre Gomez. It's going to fall for Ashley Young, who sends it back to Patterson. Patterson cuts in field. 5-0 to Chelsea on Talk Sport, and the ball sent into the edge of the penalty area before it's fielded by Malagusto into the arms of Petrovic, and he grabs hold of it. They're stopping it because they want Malagusto to get back to his feet. Back-to-back hat-tricks for Cole Palmer.
Would you not get one or two of the young boys on at 5-0? Give them a little taste of it for 15, 20 minutes.
Well, the problem here is, especially at Chelsea, is that there's every time you come here and you commentate on a football match, there's 2 more names that you've never seen before on the team sheet. So, you know, the youngsters that are in today will not be the youngsters that are in tomorrow. Here is Gusto. I wouldn't mind seeing Cassidy, who's playing at Leicester this season. Here's Jackson weaving his way to the edge of the box, does brilliantly, feeds Mudryk, right-footed shot is tame. Really tame, straight at Pickford. Had a great opportunity to make it 6. I mean, Gilchrist probably deserves a bit of a run out. It'd be good to see Ben Chilwell, actually, after he's come back from another injury, another knee problem. So maybe Pochettino might do that with 15 minutes to go. Here is Gallagher tussling over on the far side with Harrison.
So well. Tracking runners, Gallagher. Does it so well.
Would you have him in the England squad?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, he's a contender for that midfield place. It's just that lack of composure at times, sometimes on the ball in tight situations. He's phenomenal without the ball in terms of, pressing teams and going after them. But if you want to dictate games and break down teams who have got many numbers behind the ball, which England have to do sometimes, it can be more difficult. But no, I'd have no qualms with Conor Gallagher being in the England side. I mean, he'll give you everything, and he'll die for the cause. He's all in, and he can come up with the odd goal. To be fair to him, he's been getting himself in the box and picking up a few important goals for Chelsea this season. His game's improving.
Here is Cucurella tussling with Beto down in the left full-back position. Chelsea have it deep inside their own half, leading by 5 goals to 0. Ball back to Petrovic, who has to clear here. He does. It's over the head of Caicedo, and it goes all the way through to Keane on halfway. You're listening to Chelsea 5, Everton 0 on TalkSport with Now. And don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Chelsea versus Everton live right now, contract free, with a Now membership. Search Now Sports. Ball out to the left, and it's with Harrison, then on to Gomez, into the centre. It's headed away by Thiago Silva, and then chasing after it was Nicholas Jackson. Patterson sweeps it towards the far side, and then Harrison's cross is blocked by Malagusto, and Everton's attack once again comes to nothing. They trail by 5-0 with 15 minutes to play on TalkSport. Worth reminding you that the next show after us is the Sports Bar. 03717 223344. Jamie O'Hara and Carlton Cole in action tonight on the Sports Bar, open for business to take your calls. The Cole Palmer tribute hour, I'm sure, from 10 o'clock. 03717 223344.
Absolutely.
We will do our best to try it. We'll ask to speak to him, won't we? A little look down the line at the producer saying, yeah, go on, try and follow that up, please. I'm sure he'll be much in demand. Here is Cucurella on the near touchline. Ball out of play. Goes out for a throw-in. And collected by Patterson near side. And it's out towards the far touchline for Everton, who come forward with McNeil darting towards the edge of the box, goes past Palmer. Mikalenko with an effort, takes a deflection, goes behind. It's a corner for Everton.
You just think of the players in form at the moment. If you think of Foden, Palmer, Bellingham, Saka, Kane as a 5, you want to play against that, would you?
Well, I wish we could do a little bit of visuals on the radio there, because he gave me a wink as he said that. It definitely sort of teases you ahead of the summer, doesn't it? A little overhead kick attempt from Beto as the ball goes into the box. It's blocked by Chelsea. Patterson's got to be a little bit careful here. Got caught under the ball, and Jackson was bearing down on him, and he got a bit fortunate there because Jackson sort of maybe a little bit too eager, ran beyond the ball as it bounced behind Patterson, who'd lost it. Mikalenko goes down the left, produces a cross. It's blocked by Caicedo, who's had a very good game in midfield today. Almost sort of freed by the fact that he's not playing alongside Enzo Fernandez, not getting in each other's way maybe a little bit.
Yeah, it could be a point. It'd be interesting to see if he's fit for the weekend. If he comes back in or he leaves this team to go again.
Very difficult to change it, wouldn't it? But,
quite attacking though, isn't it?
It is. Here the ball goes towards the far post from the corner. It's headed away by Chalobah. It's funneled further clear by Trevor Chalobah. And it's one back on the halfway line. I think they're going to make a couple of more changes here, Chelsea. Pochettino's just turned to his bench and asked for instructions. The ball goes into the area, down the right side. Keane looks for Beto, slips it across the 6-yard area, and Beto manages to push it out and away for a throw-in on this near side. 5-0 to Chelsea.
Long trip home for those Evertonians, I'm afraid. Always travelling numbers. Good few of them left at half-time.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing on a Monday night as well, isn't it? As Patterson gives the ball away to Jackson. Jackson moves upfield at pace and then tries to turn, but he was surrounded by those bright fluorescent shirts. And Everton give the ball away because Caicedo's just done brilliantly to nab it in the midfield with an excellent tackle. And then not so good a tackle from Gallagher, gives away a free kick on halfway. They want to make a change here, Chelsea. Ben Chilwell coming on, and so is Cassaday, who was at Leicester this season. Interesting, he can't play in the FA Cup because he played in the FA Cup for Leicester. But he is coming on now, and off comes Mykhailo Mudryk. Could be pleased with his performance.
Yeah, he's done all right.
And Ben Chilwell comes on in place of him. I don't know if that's going to be a back 5 now for Chelsea, or a 3 and a 5, or whether or not. And Cole Palmer comes off. And listen to that roar. 4 goals in Chelsea blue. The joint top goal scorer in the Premier League, alongside Erling Haaland. Back-to-back home hat-tricks and a little bit more. He is replaced by Cesare Cassaday. He's certainly a hero, isn't he? And quite rightly so.
Yeah, it's been magnificent. Pleasure to watch.
"5-0 to Chelsea, 10 minutes left of play. Caicedo manages to clear upfield, headed down and away. Gallagher's passed the captain's armband to Ben Chilwell for the last 10 minutes. Chukwuemeka takes it inside past Andre Gomez on halfway. Chelsea, who have been a little bit less urgent in this second half, as you would expect, bearing in mind the margin of their advantage.
Also the game coming up Saturday in the back of your mind, you know you're going to have to work in that one.
Just a bit. They've got Manchester City live on TalkSport, 5:15 kickoff. We will be there throughout the course of the afternoon. Adrian Durham presenting that. I'll be there behind the mic with Stuart Pearce. And then on Sunday we'll bring you Manchester United Coventry. Before that, 2 Champions League games for you Tuesday and Wednesday night. We've got PSG and Barcelona tomorrow on TalkSport 2. Wednesday night a double-header. Arsenal away in Bavaria on TalkSport, and Manchester City against Real Madrid on TalkSport 2. I must admit, I cannot wait to get to the Etihad on Wednesday night. It's going to be some game.
Is the Coventry Man United Saturday, did you say?
Sunday.
Oh, Chelsea Saturday.
Chelsea Saturday, 5:15, Coventry Man United Sunday. And Gallagher in midfield. Gets it back to Chalobah. We've got the Leicester game on Saturday live on TalkSport. I mean, what a fantastic title race it is in the EFL Championship as well. With just a couple of games to play now. And the game's ticking away. The only place to hear the conclusion of that race is on TalkSport and TalkSport 2, the TalkSport network, the exclusive rights holders of the EFL. We love the EFL. We've got the playoffs coming up as well, the Championship playoff, the League 1 and 2, all of them on the TalkSport network. Here is Chalobah up towards the halfway line, slipped down the right side into Casadei, and then taken on by Malagusto. Casadei trying to turn and funneling it back into the path of Trevor Chalobah, and Chelsea just content to hold on to possession here. Chelsea 5, Everton 0. The latest odds are available from Ladbrokes. Nicholas Jackson to score next, 6-1. Gallagher to score next, 7-1. It's all thanks to Ladbrokes, 18+ BeGambleAware.org. Caicedo's just taken a little bit of a whack to his knee. He's gingerly getting back to his feet on halfway. Ball loose, Gallagher wins it back, of course he does. He's hungry, full of desire, snapping into every possible tackle, Conor Gallagher. And when you look at the Everton performances, the inquest obviously would have started way before half-time, but what would you alter ahead of Sunday's game with Nottingham Forest? It's a key fixture now, isn't it? Almost a little bit like a cup final, really, because after this battering, if they don't respond, or if they were to lose that game, I mean, the nerves and the tension that has surrounded Everton all season certainly would ramp up.
Well, I think it'll be a reminder of the fundamentals that they've got already under Sean Dyche. You know, we talked about their clean sheets and their not conceding lots of goals this season. This isn't normal for them to capitulate. They were undone by some brilliance, that's for sure, but there's been some naive defending, people not tracking runners when Mudryk got in, for example, down the left, and then diving in on Palmer when you've got to read your players and understand, protect your goal. You don't need to dive in. If you're simple rules in defending, if you're between the man and your goal, then you've got half a chance. As soon as you dive in, you're done. And as me and Aid were talking half time, he nutmegged both the centre-halves in the first 10-15 minutes. So just get back to basics, be hard to beat, go there, do the things you've done that got you in the position to have a decent defensive record, and then try and improve again on the. Hopefully you've got Calvert-Lewin back. We'll have to wait and see for Everton. I think Gomez has been a bright spot. Second, got on the ball, tried to play, but it's hard to judge people's performances when a team's cruising in the second half.
Chelsea 5, Everton 0 on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. And I mentioned to you before the game that I'd been chasing 777 partners for an update on the loan that Everton have got to repay by midnight tonight, £158 million. I'm told that talks are ongoing between Farhad Mashiri and MSP Capital to extend the loan terms. There might be more on that before the deadline of midnight tonight. And the fact that they haven't agreed the extension and we've got 2 hours and 14 minutes to go would trouble you somewhat. Caicedo, Chukwuemeka, into Casado, over on the right hand side. The ball is collected by Malagusto of Chelsea, who comes forward as they go in search of a sixth, and out towards the right travels Malagusto, pushed by Mikalenko, goes over to the far touchline, and McNeil just about keeps it in. It's still tight in the left fullback area, and then Tarkowski is under pressure from Malagusto. They're chasing shadows a little bit in the corner, and Everton keeping hold of it, but they can't get out, and Chelsea have won it back as they look to clear through Chalobah on to Gallagher back to Cucurella. 86 minutes on the clock. Chelsea leading by 5, and with a great chance now. I mean, their goal difference over Manchester United has been enhanced. If they were to win their game in hand, which is against Arsenal next Tuesday, obviously not something that many people will be expecting, then they would go above Manchester United in the table, having played the same number of games.
Well, they'll be kicking themselves, won't they, in recent weeks? Well, the Sheffield United and Burnley games especially.
They've already been there.
Unbelievable. When you think of this performance, Burnley were down to 10 as well. That's right, isn't it? They were down.
Yeah, the player sent off. It was again. It's one of those games where they've just gifted a team back the way into the game. You think they led until stoppage time in that match against Sheffield United when they weren't very good anyway. Big opportunities, but that's what you get when you've got a team that is still very raw and maturing, and we've seen evidence of that even tonight here with the spat over who was going to take the penalty. We'll have a few stories about that, I'm sure, tonight on the Sports Bar. I wonder if Jamie O'Hara and Carlton Cole are scrapping over who sits in the big seat before the start. Jamie wins that.
You take the point. Look, there's some positives from players, three of them wanting to take pens, but there are some negatives around the behaviour after throwing your arms in the air and pushing people away and all that. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Off comes Malagusto. Alfie Gilchrist comes on for 2.5 minutes at the end of the game. Chelsea make another change. David Washington,
why not give him 10 minutes?
Known as David, will come on too.
Never understood this with managers.
Well, maybe because he wants to preserve the clean sheet, and he doesn't want to weaken his team. There's a lot of changes out there now.
You're 5-0 up, 10 minutes to go, and you're bringing on subs who are capable of playing for Chelsea. They're not going to weaken you, are they, against an Everton team that's done? Just give them 10 minutes, at least. It's just a pet hate of mine. I'm happy they're getting on great because they get some appearance money, the young boys, maybe. I don't know. That's what we used to be, boys. You go on for a minute and you get an extra few quid, but...
Well, there you go. Look at the positives.
I just think managers are so worried.
I thought you were into this opening up your mind now, being
if you see what Klopp does, he throws the youngsters on. I know, all right, people saying whatever, but
what are they saying?
Well, some people might say, look, Liverpool, they've only won a League Cup, blah, 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 listening to Goldstein earlier and all that. But the reality is, he'll throw the youngsters in and give them a chance to play and express himself. 20 minutes here, half-hour game, and put him in that game, put him in. This 5-0 up, could have given him 10 or 15, couldn't he, the young lad coming on?
I mean, one of the arguments might be that there's quite enough young players out there already. It's a very young squad, isn't it? There's a lot of young players, so maybe he's just being cautious.
Well, that's a good point. I'll take that, that's fair.
1 minute to go before the end of the game. It's Talk Sport. Sam Adderface and Danny Murphy. We love Monday nights.
I think the old player in me's coming out. I used to get, I had it so many times where a manager would say to me, Danny, come on, you're going on, and I'm like, it's 90th minute, like, you sure?
Well, just when you were getting towards the end of your career?
No, early. But I used to think, why are you putting me on? What do you want me to do in 2 minutes?
Here is Chalobah out towards the far side.
No, you wouldn't. No, there wasn't many managers who put me on with 2 minutes to go at the end of my career. Maybe after World War III.
Destabilise the entire dressing room.
You're not far wrong, actually.
Correa into Chilwell, and now Gallagher picks it up on halfway, sends it back out to Chilwell. Chilwell directly runs towards the edge of the penalty area, brushes away Patterson, low ball into the box, comes out to Gilchrist, scores his first Chelsea goal, and there's 6 on the night. Chilwell's running, a save by Pickford. More Everton collapse, and Alfie Gilchrist, who is one of Chelsea's own, that's his song, that's what they sing to him, brings it to life. He throws himself into the shed end and celebrates his first goal for the club, and the one that caps a huge victory. Everton's worst defeat of the season, one of Chelsea's best performances, 6-0.
Patterson, young Patterson for Everton's got his hamstring, chasing back there as well. Another blow for Everton. Great finish from the young lad, wasn't it? Took his time, set himself, come out to him from the keeper, volleys it in, beautiful finish.
He smacked it well hard from the edge of the 6-yard box. It was Chilwell's effort from the other side that was parried by Pickford straight out into the box. He tried to push it wide, but Gilchrist was waiting, had time to look, to wait, watch it bounce up in front of him, and he volleyed it hard. He went running over, slapped the corner flag, and then put his head right into the arms of the supporters over on the far side to celebrate his first Chelsea goal. He was delighted about it. Well done to him. See, he was only on the pitch for a couple of minutes and he got a goal.
Yeah. I think he'd have scored a couple if he was on for longer, wouldn't he? Could be on for the match ball.
Ben Godfrey comes on for Patterson. So a sub of a sub.
7 minutes added.
7 minutes of added time.
Just what you need when you're 6-0 down.
Dear. Well, the goal difference has taken an absolute battering for Everton as well, hasn't it? Which is not great for them, because actually their goal difference wasn't that bad because of the fact there was a points deduction, so they haven't conceded as many goals as some of the others down the bottom of the table, but now it doesn't look as good at all for them. And they've gone -16, which is the same as Nottingham Forest, and that could be significant.
Could be, yeah. I'm not sure how he defend this one, Daishi. It's been a horrendous performance.
Yeah. Well, we'll try and speak to him a little bit later on the Sports Bar. I think we're doing those live into the show. So stay tuned to TalkSport, because there's a hell of a lot more to come as the boys dissect it, and we bring you the live interviews from downstairs in just half an hour's time, something like that. I don't think those interviews are ones you'll want to miss tonight. Everton will have 27 points from 32 games. They're just above Nottingham Forest, who have 26 points from 33 games. Those two meet on Sunday. Luton Town have 25 points from 33 games. I mean, there is a scenario here where those two draw at the weekend and Luton win their next game, and Luton go above them both.
On this performance, and I know it's only one performance, and seeing Forest the last couple of weeks, you'd make Forest favourites for that one at the moment.
Well, if they do end up winning that, then Everton become the target for Luton Town over the next couple of weeks, and those two meet towards the end of the season at Kenilworth Road. Not a place you'd want to go when you desperately have to win.
Well, I think Luton haven't they got Burnley this weekend? Or Sheffield United? One of them teams around them.
This weekend, they play Brentford at Kenilworth Road at 3 o'clock on Saturday.
So a winnable game for them.
And then they go away to Wolves, and then it's that big Everton game on the Friday night, which, funnily enough, is live on TalkSport.
Aid will be there.
Here is Gallagher out towards the far side, looking for Gilchrist. Gets a big cheer every time he touches the ball. And I suppose that's a key thing, you know, when you're sort of a young player that's come through the ranks and you make it into the first team, and he plays with heart and desire, Alfie Gilchrist. He gets recognised, despite the fact there's a lot of young players around at this moment in time, as one for whom the club means a hell of a lot. He was born in Kingston upon Thames, grew up in the local-ish area, been at the club since he was a very young kid, and he has scored his first goal tonight. Ashley Young with another good cross into the box, punched away, and then Gilchrist chests it down and kicks it clear over on the far side. Well, Chelsea about to put pressure on West Ham, Newcastle and Manchester United. They're starting to find a bit of form at home. One defeat in 17 home games now, Dan. Good. It's a solid record, and they've won 13 of those. And the early season problems are starting to fall by the wayside. Ball back by Godfrey to Pickford. There was no problem for Pickford, but the Chelsea fans are just unsettling him now, having a bit of a giggle. And we've played our 5 minutes of 7 added on at the end of the 90. Pickford again getting a bit of trouble from the Chelsea fans, and he turns round as if to say, come on, leave me alone. A ball headed down by Cassidy, picked up by Gomez. Everton, who haven't done the double over Chelsea since 1978-79, are not going to do it this season. And I don't think many people thought they would get all 3 points here tonight. They haven't won a game since December till last week, and even that was a little bit fortunate. So winning back-to-back games was always going to be a big ask, but to lose in this manner is quite startling, really, bearing in mind they've just got on the scoreboard again. Here is Beto from the edge of the area trying to get a consolation goal, parried away by Petrovic, and the clean sheet may well be preserved here by Chelsea. And Gallagher is nudged to the floor, and the free kick is given to Chelsea as we enter the final minute of stoppage time. What lessons will Pochettino have garnered from this game?
Well, I think he'll be pleased to see Caicedo sharp and bang at it in the middle of the pitch there. It's as good as I've seen him. The importance of Palmer in that 10 role, how much more influential he can be than stuck out wide sometimes, where he has to wait for the ball a bit more. I think that's something he'll be looking at a bit more, whether he decides to do that at the weekend. And then, other than that, I mean, he's going to have to make a decision on the centre-back pairing as well when the lads are fit, aren't they? Because he's chopped and changed that area of the pitch. And this is their first clean sheet in a while, isn't it, I think? Yeah. So he's got some big decisions depending on who's fit for Saturday, because obviously they're going to be tested then.
Chelsea are now 3 points behind Newcastle United and Manchester United with a game in hand. They are breathing down the neck of West Ham United and have 2 matches in their pocket over David Moyes' side. They're 90 minutes from the second cup final of the season, and they have one of the best young players in the league, and currently the joint top scorer in the division in Cole Palmer, who becomes the first Chelsea player to score back-to-back home hat-tricks in the Premier League. Maybe, just maybe, the season will not end with Chelsea feeling as blue as they have for most of it. It's a different story for Everton, though. They're now looking over their shoulder nervously. They should have enough, but they should have had enough to pull away from this predicament already. Their game on Sunday with Forest is massive, as was their defeat in West London. Chelsea 6, Everton 0, and the party started.